Hello, Miss Becky. Hello, Miss Lemmy.
Hello.
Oh, that's buzzy.
That's not fun.
I wonder what that is. One day we'll find out.
Yeah, one day. Not today.
Today's not that day. We'll just work through the buzzing.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the audio is so good, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How is everybody today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You good?
Dirty
I'm
knees?
Good. Yes.
Dirty knees.
Dirty girls.
Push up
Dirty
knees, burpy knees. Mine bruise, by the way. Do you see that? They get red and they
Oh, wow.
bruise. And then sometimes if I do enough...
On both sides, or do you have like one side that
one-
you lean on?
Definitely one's a
Yeah.
bit worse. I think it's my left
I remember
one.
that from the time you did 1,000 burpees in the hotel room. How
forgot
bad
about
that
that.
one knee was. Like they were both bad, but one was like significantly more bruised and grazed than the other one.
I think
Which
it's
side
my
is
left.
it?
I
Yeah.
think.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I should get a little graze from it tomorrow. We'll see.
Keep us updated.
Yeah. Maybe that'll still be there next week.
Maybe. Question of the day.
Hit me.
Can you smell ants?
Yes.
Wow. Did you think everyone could smell ants?
I haven't thought about it,
Okay.
but when we used to live in Oakey and we used to have instant coffee at home, the ants would get in the kettle. And then if Jordo made me a coffee and then brought me a coffee, I would be like, this coffee tastes like ants. And he'd always be like, what do you mean?
Like if, because you could taste it when they
I
got
could
in
taste
there.
the ants that
But
were
he
in the
couldn't?
hot water that they used to like creep into the kettle, and he couldn't taste it. So I think I knew deep down that not everyone could.
Yeah.
But I haven't really questioned it. But I can taste ants, but I can't smell maybe if it was alive.
Yeah.
But I can't really smell alive ants very well. I don't think, just crawling around.
Yeah.
But when they smushed or dead, or like you boil them accidentally, like wash something out in the sink and there's like ants accidentally, I can smell them.
Yeah.
Can you?
I can smell them when they're smushed.
Or just smushed, so
I
not
think so.
boiled?
I mean, I haven't tried.
It's like, are you like ants like crawl on a plate and then you wash that plate off? It's like an instant hit.
No, I don't think so.
It's like ant.
Maybe mine's just like a vague
Smush.
smell.
Death.
Smush
You can smell the deathness.
Can you smell it?
Not one bit.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Can't smell anything. Can't taste them.
No. What is it? Can you
That-
liken it to something?
It's not pleasant. It's not sweet.
It's a lot of knots, really.
I was trying the other day.
Okay, I'm going to Google this. What do ants smell like? And see if they come up with a good answer.
I can't. It's so unique though. So I can't even.
because you don't hear anybody say,
Well, that
"Oh, it
tasted
smells
like.
like ants."
Anti-smell?
Yeah, it's got an ant smell to it.
Okay. Oh, some common smells associated with ants include blue cheese, rotten coconuts, citrus, and even a chocolatey vinegary-like scent.
Citrusy, vinegary, I feel.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Don't know what
Don't know
the
about rotten
coconut smells
And
like.
I don't think blue cheese.
I don't know what blue cheese smells like because that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So absolutely yes.
But I think we should do a poll to see how many people can smell ants.
Because did you
Yes.
say
I listened to this on a podcast that day before you sent this to me, and it was like 10% of the population or 20% of the population can smell them. Crazy.
it is?
I've eaten an ant before. When I was traveling Australia, it was bush tucker. But
Yeah.
we were just sitting in a park, and I feel like maybe they were just filling time for the tour. I don't know. So we had
Did
to
it taste like anything?
bite the bum off the ant.
Ew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like lemon citrusy. Yeah,
Interesting.
So you can taste
taste it. Yeah.
Interesting.
I have a second question real quick, if that's
cool.
okay.
Of course, I'd love
Um,
to.
It's something that has been, you know how things just like trend on TikTok every now and then?
No, because I don't
have
watch
TikTok,
it.
but I just listen to a lot of podcasts. So that's where I find all my cool kid information. The question that's going around at the moment is who would win out of a fight?
Oh, is this a gorilla?
Yeah, of one silverback gorilla or 100 men unarmed. They're just like regular, like 100 men randomly pulled off the street. They do not have any time to make a plan. They're just like thrown in.
Gorilla,
Gorilla would win. Interesting.
I reckon. Those motherfuckers are so
I feel
strong.
like 100 men is a lot.
Yeah, but they have
But
to
how
work.
would they kill him?
And they have to work in with each other.
Yeah.
Which no man works with another man.
Yeah.
No. I think it's like because they can't like 100 men is a lot, but they can't all do something at the same time to that
Yes.
one animal in that
Yes.
one spot. So they'd like the gorilla would just be killing motherfuckers.
Die.
While the
Yeah.
next one comes.
And then I don't actually know how you would kill a gorilla.
Yeah,
with
you'd have to
no-
I'm
like,
thinking eyeballs.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
going
Okay.
straight for the brain.
I just couldn't do it. I don't
No.
think.
And I think that's the other thing is imagine
you
being
actually
one of
do
those
that?
men
Yeah.
trying to run at a fucking gorilla.
Yeah,
Those things
no.
are so strong.
I feel, yeah.
The only thing I saw, I think it was Cam Gray put up like how far a gorilla can throw like 100. Oh, it was a sandbag.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was like 60 kilos or 45, and he threw it as far as he could, and it didn't even hit half of the length that the gorilla could throw the same weight.
Yeah,
And I
right.
was like, oh, that's easy.
It's not promising. Interesting.
Do you reckon you could win a fight?
Against nobody.
100 5-year-old children? Do you reckon you'd just be able to kick
No,
their little
I
faces
feel
in?
like 100 is so many.
Yeah. But like they won't work together.
This is true.
Just
Could you,
absolutely.
Very
could you
dumb.
harm a 5-year-old
If
child?
they were trying to
Yeah.
kill me, if those 5-year-olds were trying to kill me, I'd fuck them up. If it's
Lobbing
me,
them.
if it's me or 100 of you, I would kill you. Yeah, I'll just use a kid
my
to
God.
throw at the other children.
Just use the kid as like the
A cannon.
baton.
Just spin it round and round.
Well, I'm thinking always Amy. That's just like the first kid that came to my brain. And like, I just don't think I could hurt her.
I just sit her down.
Yeah, you stay there, honey.
Stay there.
But she always tries to fight me, so maybe
She tries to fight
if she
you.
annoyed me enough.
She doesn't try
She
to fight
always
me.
tries to push me over.
Oh, no, wait. Then I push her over. So
Yeah.
that's when she stops.
And she
You can just
cries.
push her off. Push
Yeah,
her
maybe
off.
they'd all just cry.
Before you actually kill them.
Yeah.
Then you
And then-
definitely
And then you
wanna
would kill them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they'd be crying too loudly. This got dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are we talking about today, good friends?
We are talking about nutrition. It's been a while since we've done a nutrition podcast.
I think we've maybe done 2 or 3 in
it's a long
total
time, probably.
ever. Yeah, I think it has been a while, but they are always up there with our most listened to
Why
podcasts.
do you think that is?
Because people need help with
Yes,
it.
they do.
I would say people are very interested. I also think people always are waiting for the secret pill.
Yeah.
And I think that they
Well, if you
hopeful
listen to the whole episode, we'll tell you at the end.
Yeah.
will tell you the secret
Kidding.
right at the end.
Kidding.
I do think people are very hopeful that it gets,
Yeah, there's something.
yeah. So I think that with every podcast that's ever out about nutrition, they're just hoping that this is the thing, I think. But we'll see. So before we ask the
Interesting.
question for you, because you are our nutrition superstar around these parts, what have you done yourself in nutrition? As in, have you had your own journey
Yeah.
in nutrition, and then what have you studied?
Yeah, so before I did CrossFit, I was a bodybuilder.
Bodybuilding.
And so that obviously has a really large component. I mean, the whole component of that really is dieting. Like you're dieting to get really, really lean. So that involves lots and lots and lots of tracking and measuring and weighing food for a really long period of time. So I did that for a couple of years and just got really interested in it after that.
Were you interested in nutrition while you're doing it, or was it just like associated with what the goal of bodybuilding was?
Yeah, I think towards the end I got more interested because I started to develop some really just yucky food things. Like I was, just like really obsessed with the numbers. I mean, it makes sense now knowing what we know about my brain, but like to the point where I couldn't eat out if I didn't know.
You should tell the story about was it like a family gathering?
The turkey sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like little things like I'd be prepping for a show. The show would still be like 20 weeks away. It was Christmas time and I had prepped all my food like to the gram. Like I knew exactly what was in the fridge and what I had to eat and when. And someone took one of my turkey sausages and like had the biggest meltdown. Like it just, things started to get pretty bad towards the end. So that wasn't good. And then when I finished competing, I even it was at the point where I just couldn't eat outside the house because I just didn't know what was in something. Like I got quite obsessed with it. But but that kind of turned into a really big interest for it, like interested in food, but really interested in food behaviors as well. So I don't remember what the first course I did. Something nutrition coaching, like I think it was WAG, like working against gravity, when that was a big thing in CrossFit. So I did my nutrition coaching course through them, and then that's
You
when,
also, before you did that, I think you worked with the sports dietitian first. Was that the
Oh,
first
yeah.
thing you did?
yes,
And
that's
that probably
correct.
also helped the
Yeah.
interest in,
Yeah,
because the
that's
fueling
right.
was so different, right?
So
Between
different.
bodybuilding and
Yeah,
training.
yeah. So just all these things are coming back to me. So bodybuilding's very like restriction based because you're trying to cut down. And then when I came to CrossFit, I was very little, very lean, and really wanted to get stronger. So I had a session with the sports dietitian, and in my head I was a little bit like, oh, like she can't tell me stuff I don't already know. I've been doing this for so long. And she like totally like flipped everything. And I was like, oh shit, there's so much to learn. And then I did worked with her on and off for quite a few years, and started nutrition coaching, and then I did my sports nutritionist course, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So very interested in, like you said, the behavior side of it, but know a lot and have experienced a lot from a performance perspective, health perspective, and the other side, the flip side of
the bad side of it for sure.
So you got a lot of knowledge in all of the ways.
Yeah.
So we asked our listeners, members,
Our moms.
we asked our listeners and members
And family.
No family or involvement.
what questions they have for us to do with nutrition. And we know that a lot of them comes back to behavioral stuff, but we're going to go through them one by one, and Becky will cut us off if we're exceeding to like a long time.
I want to
Over
ask
an
you a
hour.
question before we start though. What's your journey with food
Journey.
has been the opposite, like
Yeah.
different, very different to that.
I think like growing up as a kid, I've mentioned that as well to you before. Growing up as a kid, food was an absolute fight. Because there's 4 kids in the house, so food was never unhealthy, healthy.
It was just
It
food.
was just food, and we would just eat as like. I just remember I was saying to someone not long ago, like a roast chicken. All I fucking wanted was a leg. I just wanted a leg. Every week we would get a roast chook, one for 6 of us, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And all I would want was a leg, and rarely would I get that leg. But then I'd cry, and then I'd get the leg the next week. But yeah, so I think, and I've mentioned also like, my mum never commented on like my weight, her weight, like anything to do with that sort of stuff. So food was never an education point, a negative. It was nothing.
It was
like,
just a thing.
It just
was.
It just is.
Yeah.
And then it honestly wasn't like all through like being a trainer. I just tried to eat healthy, what I considered healthy. Didn't really know much about it. Just ate. And then when you started working with a sports dietitian, you spoke a lot about it to me and said it would help me. So I also started. And at that time, like started CrossFit was super paleo-ish. So I was eating just super low carb and just trying to eat natural and all that sort of stuff.
Clean.
Clean is the right words. And then, just learnt a lot through sports dietitian, through you, and
I think that, sorry, we're way off topic now, but I think the body image thing is super interesting. Like your mum never commenting on it. And then like I've known you for a long time and it's never been a thing that you've worried about, like never been something that's been on your radar.
No.
Whereas I feel like, oh my God, that buzzing. I promised I wasn't going to say anything today. Damn it.
it's happened a few times.
Quite the opposite, like
Yeah.
whether knowingly or not, my parents talked about it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And that has always been a huge issue for me, even now as however old I am. Like it's something that just never goes away, I don't think.
Yeah.
Once it's been like put in there as a kid.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, hey, as for parents to hear is like, don't, like I try not to talk. I was just picturing Callie was making fun of me how I look in the mirror the other day. That's why I nearly started laughing. She was like, she looks at herself like this and like this. I was like, I do not. It was very funny. But yeah, like don't talk about how you look, and it should be about how you feel and like all that sort of stuff. And definitely don't comment on how your kid looks. I think because I do believe that that's, you know, had a big impact on how I view my body. And I think like starting CrossFit really young, like 21, 22, I knew like it's always, you know, I'm always very aware of how I look and how others look, but it's never like a negative or
It just is.
it just is. It's the same as food. Like it just
Interesting.
is. And then seeing CrossFitters when I was very young, I was like, oh, like you can be really strong, and that like you don't. It's not about how you look, but that's like the byproduct of being like really strong. And I wanted to feel that.
Yeah, and I think even more now, CrossFitters are all shapes and sizes, like more now than ever, probably.
Yeah.
Like tiny and little and lean, like Tia, she's so little, and then someone like Laura Horvath, who
Thick
is
dog.
almost 80 kilos and so tall, and you know, just
Yeah.
every end of the spectrum, which is really cool.
And yeah, I think growing up, like my older brother was super athletic. I was not in like athletic, but I wasn't not athletic. And my sister was overweight. So I think we just had everything in my family. So it always just was what it is. And yeah, I'm not saying that you just are the way you are, but I think, you know, genetics have a big play.
Definitely.
So yeah, I've just always been very accepting of what I look like, because I'm trying to be the healthiest I can. So whatever that looks like is what it looks like.
Yeah. You've definitely like taught me a lot about that, which has been really cool
It's awesome.
over the years. Anyway,
Let's get into this.
let's do it.
We're definitely going to have less time for questions because we just talked about ourselves. No, I love it. No, I think that's really good to talk about. Creatine. What is it? And should I be taking it?
Yes, great question. It's a very hot topic at the moment. Creatine is a supplement, for those who don't know. So it is something that exists within our body. Hopefully I don't get any of this wrong. It is an amino acid, I believe. And its job basically is to provide the muscle cell with more energy. So we can get it, we make some of it, we can get some of it from food, but then we can supplement it to kind of bring it up to its peak level. 5 grams a day.
For everyone?
For everyone.
Boy,
is what,
girls, doesn't matter how big you are.
is the current recommendation from the sports, I don't know, nutrition, whatever they're called. There is a little bit of research coming out now about the benefits with mental health, Alzheimer's prevention, dementia prevention, lots of brain things, but the dosage is higher. I can't remember what it is, but it's higher than 5 grams a day. So I think, yes, if you are doing something where you're trying to get stronger, 5 grams a day. I'll get back to you on the dosage for brain health, but I think starting at 5 grams a day is a good place to start anyway.
Yep. And it doesn't matter if you're an athlete, if you're not an athlete, it's good for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. If you're trying to build muscle, which we all are, who's not really.
And if you're not, you should be.
And I think that paired with the things we know about the brain stuff now, I think it is well worth getting onto if you're not already.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what time of day, it goes in liquid, anything, whatever. The only side effect I think is the gut issues, which gets me. So
I was going to say, I just get a little bit, because I have it before bed with my ZMA, and I just get a bit bloaty.
oh yeah, I get a bit like diarrhea.
Oh, do ya?
Yeah.
Interesting. Bit different.
So I'm gonna get dementia. Sorry guys.
Shit.
Be nice knowing you all.
Shit. When does that start? What was I going to say? And it is one of the few supplements that you would highly recommend to everyone.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most researched sports supplements we have for sure. And it's cheap as well. Like it's not like you're taking like a...
That's what I was going to say. Don't take the gummies.
Don't take the gummies.
Have you read that?
Yeah.
Have you read about the research on that?
Yeah. Yeah, always check your supplements. Like just because it says it is something doesn't mean it is. Always check the labels and make sure a serving is 5 grams.
Yeah.
Because
The gummies are more expensive.
Yeah. And you need to take so many of them. So you're actually spending so much money.
To get the 5 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not in the serving size that they say.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
The true one's pretty good, isn't it?
True.
Downstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Like that's good.
Definitely.
Like, yeah.
Definitely.
Clean. whatever
Yeah.
you call it. Sorry, can I just ask? Did you say about timings don't matter? So before training, after training
Doesn't matter.
Before bed,
impact?
when you
bed.
wake up.
Yeah. Middle
Whenever-
of the night, whatever you want to do.
Like, probably stay asleep. But yeah, also, yeah. How to enjoy vegetables. 101. Do you like this question?
Yes and no.
Because I think that's another thing with me is I also don't give a fuck.
You'll just eat whatever.
I will eat whatever. So when I get a question
love
like
it.
this, I'm like, just eat your
Just
fucking
eat them.
vegetables.
And part of my brain definitely goes that way. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, they're good for you.
Yeah.
Just eat them. Like it's like brushing your teeth. Just do the thing. But then I also understand so much of nutrition is behavioral driven. If you don't enjoy it, you're less likely to reach, blah, blah, blah. So I think learning to cook for anyone who really struggles with this stuff is so useful. I don't need to look at you because you just will eat whatever. Yeah. So I think learning to cook and then not being afraid of.
Okay, how do you learn to cook? Let's say I want to. You just laugh at me.
in this strange parallel
Alternate
universe.
Candace.
Mandy wants to cook.
I want to learn how
I've
to cook.
offered a couple of times, like when you're ready. But she's always like, no.
Well, not everyone wants you. Like, not you don't want to teach everyone.
I mean, no. Yes, good question. I think the lady Recipe Tin Eats on
Joy loves
Instagram.
her.
I fucking love her recipes and she has so many good videos attached to them. So I think that's something like that, if not her, is a really good place to start.
Nice. That's so good.
And like, don't be afraid of using sauces and dressings and things. Like
Yep.
a little bit of that is not a big deal if it's going to make you eat vegetables.
I think-
Like that's a good trade-off.
I think that, there is a question about that coming up too.
yeah, cool.
Should we be listening to hunger cues and only eating when hungry?
Oh, this is my favorite topic. Yes and no, it depends. If you are someone who is overweight and trying to lose weight, it's very likely that your hunger and fullness cues are going to be all over the place. So your body's, particularly when you're cutting down on calories, your body's more likely to tell you that you're hungry more often, and it's less likely to tell you that you're full. So your body's like fighting against you trying to cut down your calories. So in those instances, you shouldn't listen to them all the time. Be aware of them, but you don't have to listen to them. The flip side of that is someone who is maybe quite lean already or quite active. Your hunger cues are probably going to be non-existent if you're training hard. So you're kind of in the camp that you just need to eat when it's time to eat, because if you rely on hunger cues, you probably won't eat.
And I find, especially at the moment with training, I am so hungry on rest days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not very hungry on normal training days. On rest days, I just want to eat the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if that's happening to you, then that's probably a sign that you need to probably
Eat
up
more
it.
on the other days for
Yep.
sure. Absolutely. And yeah, if you're someone who like doesn't think about food and, regularly misses meals and stuff, like you're someone who cannot rely on those cues because they're not going to be there for you. You either have learnt to ignore them or they're so dampened down that you don't even register that they're happening.
And then I guess for people who are trying to lose weight and they are getting hunger cues, where's like the line?
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
is there
it's
like
tough.
you'll always be hungry? Like, when should you be hungry and when should you not be hungry?
Yeah, you'll probably always have some degree of hunger because you're going against everything that your body wants, which sucks. And there's heaps of cool research coming out now in regards to weight loss drugs like Ozempic, because that's what Ozempic does. It takes away that noise, the food noise they call it. We think people who are overweight and have been their whole life, like their cues are just really loud and they never go away. And that's why they keep eating, because they're just like, I'm hungry, I got to eat. I'm hungry, I got to eat. So it sucks. Being hungry is uncomfortable, but I think also our society, food is so readily available that it's almost a bit of a panic when we feel it. We're like, oh God, I'm hungry, I have to eat. So I think just learning to be like, you're fine. You've eaten breakfast, you've eaten a snack, lunch is in half an hour, you're okay.
And I think, I don't know, I have no idea. kids. Like, I wonder if this is like for people who are overweight. I wonder if they were fed too like soon when they were, because we've said, I cannot tell you how many times a week Jordan and I say to Callie, dinner is in half an hour.
That's a hungry kid.
Yeah. Oh, she's
The
a
first
fucking
time I
hungry kid.
babysat her,
Oh my
she
God.
ate everything in my fridge.
Oh,
I'm not
she's
even kidding.
Just nonstop with the
I was
food.
like, you want more strawberries? $8, but sure, babe. Here you go.
I have to stop paying you.
Yeah, I love you, but here.
She'll be like, I'm hungry. I need to eat. I'm hungry right now. I need to eat. It's like, dude, dinner's in half an hour. I understand that you're uncomfortable, but you're gonna be okay. I promise. Like, the amount of times we have to say that, but I think that that's a good thing. So then she understands that,
Like, it's okay to be a little hungry.
it's not like she's starving during the day, like for hours, but it's always like that. Yeah, like afternoon tea before dinner sort of time, and then on weekend she's just like has no, structure. And we're like, lunch is soon. You don't need to eat. Like, just constantly reminding her that she doesn't have to. But I think for some parents, maybe they just want to shut their kids up. So like, quick, you can have a couple of strawberries or whatever. But then they never sit with that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. And then I think when that happens, it's like, oh shit, I don't like this. I'm just going to eat to make it go away.
And when you're an adult and making your own decisions, you just do.
You just do it. Yeah. I could talk about this stuff all day, but yes, I think that is part of it. And I also think our society, kids these days, like, we're never, if we want something, we can get it now, no matter what it is. TV show, a movie, food delivered to our house, like, everything is so instant. We never have to wait. So I just wonder if over time that's going to get worse and worse because we need that gratification this second.
It's messed up.
Do you think it's better to learn to sit with the hunger rather than not eating, but finding something like having a glass of water instead? Because I remember at daycare we'd say that to the kids. They'd be hungry, but it's nearly lunchtime. They wanted to get their lunchbox. But like, have a big drink of water and then see how you feel after that. And then they would just go away and forget about it. But do you think it's better to learn to sit with it?
For some people, not for everyone, but for some people, yes, I think it is. But I also think it's a good chance to be like, okay, if you're consistently getting really hungry, what does the rest of your day look like? Like, are you actually eating proper meals throughout the day? Because when you eat, I did this yesterday and I was like, oh, you idiot. You don't eat a good lunch and then it gets to like 4 o'clock and you're like, oh, it's almost dinner time, but I'm really hungry. I'm just going to eat something. And then you eat so much because you're starving and then you don't have dinner. I wonder how many people are actually hungry because of that as well. Like, they're not eating a solid meal and then they're just like picking and picking and picking and they're never like getting full again. So I think there's lots of factors, but it's complicated. And this is part of like nutrition coaching, is working through this with someone because everyone's really different.
Yeah, all of their, again, behaviours and leading to that. The other thing, just really quickly with with kids, I also, this might ruffle some feathers, I don't think kids should be allowed free access to pantries and
Absolutely
fridges. Like, I don't think that your kid should just be able to walk up to the fridge or the cupboard and just get whatever they want whenever they want.
Yeah,
That's just an opinion.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't have kids, but I think the younger, us even just talking about the body image stuff, which was maybe, I can think of 3 or 4 comments that were made to me as a kid that now stick with me as an adult. If you have the chance to instill good, healthy behaviors in your kids now, like, just knowing how much that stuck with me, I just think you can either set them up for success or failure from the decisions you make as a parent today. So
I just don't think they have the emotional and physical
they don't
capacity to make good choices.
Yeah.
They're always going to go for the shitty shit in the cupboard whenever they can.
Yeah.
It's like letting them decide when to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like,
That's exactly what it's like.
you
wouldn't do
not
that.
yeah.
Exactly. Moving on. Your opinion on including protein powders and protein bars into your diet.
Yes. Yes, good. So protein is good to have enough of. I always like people to use real food first. I think that's a good rule to have. Like, if you have the opportunity to get that protein source from an actual food option, then you should. But if you have done that and you're still short on protein, or you're on the run and you need something, or that's just a snack that you really love, then go for it.
Is 2 eggs enough in the morning for protein?
No.
Yeah. See,
not
that's
for
like,
most people.
I I have my bagel and my avocado and normally a protein shake in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I can't get enough protein in the morning.
Yeah. And so for women particularly, like who aren't huge eaters or meat eaters, protein shakes are a good add-on, but I would always try to get real food in first.
Yep.
Because it's going to keep you fuller for longer, like we talked about before. Like a protein shake is the same amount of protein as 100 grams of steak, for example, but the steak has so much more stuff in it that's going to keep you full, so you're less likely then to like overeat for the next meal or whatever.
And then
it
even
is.
just the chewing and the digestion of it all. Hey,
Yeah, definitely.
how do you combat sugar cravings?
Well, again, it depends. There's so many reasons. So like everything that we talked about before, the first thing I do is always look at your other meals through the day. Like, are you actually eating enough to make sure you're getting what you need? So that would be the first thing. And for most people, most women I'd say that I work with, it's the afternoon, like after lunch, that they're like, oh, I just need something to get me through the rest of the day. But when we look at their food, they've had like a piece of toast for breakfast and like a ham sandwich for lunch, which has like half a slice of ham on it. Like they're just not eating enough early in the day, which is causing that afternoon crash. They could also be eating really highly processed food, which causes like a big spike in blood sugar and then a big drop, which causes a sugar craving as well. So looking at the quality of that food, but then also looking at things like sleep. So I know the person who wrote this is a new mum and is probably not sleeping. And when we're tired, our brain always looks for the quickest fix. And for energy, it's sugar. So if you are tired and your brain's like, oh, we're struggling today, guys, it's always going to be like, what's the quickest thing I can do to make myself feel better? And that's going to be sugar.
Brain lives off carbs, right?
It does, yes.
Yeah. So and if you're not sleeping, that's why, right?
Yeah. And it, but we want carbs that are going to give us like constant
Steady.
energy. Rather than like big spikes and big dips through the day, because that's when it's going to go looking for more when it's run out. So
it does depend on your situation.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I really get them.
I knew that you wouldn't.
Yeah. I was just looking at that.
You're a unicorn. You're not. You're a unicorn.
I don't like, I think the only time I really want something is right before my period.
Yep.
Like, but I just don't.
Because she doesn't do the shopping, and there's probably Geordie didn't buy the right
house,
thing.
so
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'll be fine.
guess I'll just have some water.
That was our go-to thing when we were kids. When we were hungry, Mum would be like, "Have a piece of fruit and a glass of water." So
It's
every
literally
time,
an apple or water.
every time that happens now, we're always like, "Have a piece of fruit and a glass of water."
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. Yeah, and I think
or if I see it, if it's in my face. So that's the only
interesting.
like, and the things that I really want, like a cookie, like a loaded cookie or a donut, cinnamon donut or a loaded cookie.
Yeah, they're not in your face often.
Never.
Yeah. And I think habit is another really big one as well. Like people just get into the habit. Oh, okay, we're going down it.
Let's do it.
Sugar is like a dopamine hit for our brain. So think of like a drug addict. When you get a dopamine hit from something, it feels good. Your brain remembers that. It goes, oh yeah, that was nice. And then next time you feel that same thing, your brain quickly goes, what did we do last time? Oh, that's right. We had the sugar that made us feel good. We're going to do that. And that becomes like a bit of a habit loop that over time happens so quickly you don't even think about it. It's just like thing happens, eat, thing happens, eat, thing happens, eat. And before you know it, every single situation in life that happens, you're responding to by eating sugar because it makes your brain feel really good. So I think people get stuck in the loop of that and it gets so bad before they even realize what's happening. And that's another huge thing we work on with nutrition coaching. People are like, I'm addicted to chocolate. I'm like, well, yes, but it's because you're responding to situations with chocolate rather than addressing what the actual problem is before you reach for the chocolate.
I wonder if it's the same, like you said, the noise for people that have been overweight for a long time is just louder, like the cues are louder. It just reminded me when you said that about the sugar. Callie was here the other night and I let her eat like one of those little cupcakes in the fridge out the back. And no shit, the look on that kid. So she undid this cupcake, she put it in her mouth, and then she literally went, oh, like
I got my hit.
And I was like, I looked at her, I was like, that good, babe. She's like, it's so like She like melted into the floor. And I don't think I've felt that ever.
That's so
So I
funny.
wonder if like for some people it just feels better as well. For
Absolutely.
some individuals.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to watch
That's
her
so
because I
funny.
think Jordo's the same. He always explains
Yeah.
like when he puts something like that he wants in his mouth, he's like. I'm like looking at these two like the fuck?
Yeah, I
So-
absolutely think we know that some people are more susceptible to that for sure. And then it's like the repeated behavior of that becomes a thing, which, yeah, I just love delving into that stuff with people because it's so wild.
Yeah,
So crazy.
very interesting. Any benefit to collagen supplements?
Yes, there is a little bit of research which I forgot to read before we came in here, so I'm going to try and dig into my brain for it. But yes, we used to say no, but I think there's been some stuff come out over the last year or so that it is beneficial for things like hair, skin, nails, and joint injuries. But I can't remember the exact dosage of it. But I would say if you are not already doing everything else really well, like if you're not eating enough protein, fruit and veggies, sleeping, managing stress, all the shit we talk about every week, there's probably no point adding that in until everything else is nailed.
Yep.
Just like,
It's like another thing you have to worry about when you haven't even worried about the main
that's
thing.
like fixing the 1% when you haven't done the 99%. There's,
Yeah.
I believe, almost no point.
Yep,
You're not going to get the benefits.
love it. Do you have good sauce and dressing combos?
Like whatever you want. Like QP mayo.
So when you said
amazing.
before, like don't be scared of it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared of it.
Yeah. I mean, don't go silly. Like,
Like, don't be scared to add it, but don't
Yeah.
like smother it. Is
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. And if you're unsure, like a test I always do with my clients is measure out how much you're using and like, let's see if we can get that under control a little. Like say the serving size is 15 grams and you, without realizing, put on 35 grams every time. Let's see if we can pull that back to like 15 or 20 grams. Is that enough for you to enjoy your veggies? Awesome. Let's go for it.
Yep.
I think people are so scared of those little things. That's not the problem. Like if you're trying to lose weight, it's that bit of dressing you have every night. It's not the issue. So yeah, I think it's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, QP mayo.
I don't have that. I don't think.
Just mayo. Ooh,
Just mayo.
Any
favorite.
mayo.
Oh, Becco's. Becky is
Rebecca.
loving the QP
Yeah.
mayo.
I went light for a while,
Yeah,
but it
it's
just
not the same.
It's just not.
I mean,
good.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Do you, are you, you like a bit of dressing, just
Like-
whatever's in the fridge.
Honestly, like I don't care. Like
You'd be the worst nutrition coach. You're like, oh, just eat it.
yeah, and like it'd be bad. Just fucking eat it. Like we had Jordo made burger bowls the other night. I think they were from a TikTok thing. They're very popular at the moment. It was like
Yum, I haven't had that for ages. Okay, I'm gonna
it was
do
like
that next week.
chips, like potato, like chips. Going well.
Chippies.
Mince,
Yeah.
cheese,
Yeah.
and then the sauce, like the sauce,
Like
I
the
have
burger
to-
sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like your burger sauce, mustard, and was it burger? I don't know, but like that definitely made that meal.
That
like the
sauce.
sauces
Yeah.
made that
Yeah.
meal. But like, yeah,
And like, if that's the worst thing
Usually.
you're eating in a day, you're probably doing all right.
a burger bowl, it's great.
Like the sauce, you know? Like
Oh.
it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. For most people, negligible. But yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Okay. How to stay consistent? Eat really well during the week, but this goes to shit on the weekends.
I was like, is she going to not swear for some reason today?
It's like the
We-
littlest swear word.
Click the not for kids button, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's perfect.
Great question. It's always something that when I have a client, they are like, I'm just not losing weight. I'm doing everything you've asked me to do. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's look at your weekend. Because really, it's like 30% of your week or something. Like it's a big chunk of your week. And the weekend,
Especially if it starts on Friday night.
yeah, I was going to say the weekend does not start on Saturday for most people. Friday night, maybe Thursday at a push. So it is a big deal. And I think having some kind of routine is important. So even if you know that you've got stuff on, control absolutely everything that you can in that. Have breakfast at home. Take snacks with you or have emergency snacks in the car if you need it. Like most of my clients, I'll be like, just have protein shake like shakery thing with powder in it if you get stuck somewhere. And then while you're out, making the best choices you can for stuff that's not super important to you. Like if you're going to your best friend's wedding, fucking let loose. Like that's fine. If you're at a kid's birthday party, like you don't need to be eating all the food. Like you're going to be fine without it. So I think it's just making those choices and always coming back to, is this going to help my goals or take me further away from my goals?
Like a big one for the kids' birthday party, which I often do, is eat before you go. Like just
Definitely.
have a full meal and then have one cupcake and it's okay. You participated.
Yeah,
You
and
did
like
the thing.
don't, all the little things, don't stand next to the food table
Yeah.
talking, like take yourself away from it.
Yeah.
Sit down so you're less likely to just be grabbing things. Like there's so many little behavioral things you can put in to help control that stuff. But I think the first step is just like awareness, like I'm fucking up my weekends. What can I change tomorrow to make it better?
Yeah.
And it's just pick one thing, make one thing better.
Preparation. You'd say like think about this
Yeah.
ahead.
Yes, definitely. Like, and I find most people are really good with like planning their Monday to Friday food week, and then they just like, whatever happens on the weekends. Like, often don't even have any groceries left, so
Yeah.
they are just as important as the rest of the week. So I try to get people to meal prep for them if they can, or at least have a rough idea of what they're going to eat and when.
I think it's like a lot of people's reward. Like
Yeah.
that's what they try to
Yeah.
do. They're
Like,
like,
work
well,
hard
I
all
did,
week.
I did
Yeah.
this all week. So now I get to not have to think about it. Unfortunately, that's not how the body works.
Yeah, and like that's fine, but then you can't expect the same
Yeah.
level of results. So
Yeah.
it's just trying to weigh up the pros and cons of that, I guess. But also at some point you have to, like, you're an adult, you have to make the decision to either change and get whatever it is you're working towards, or stay the same and stay on the same path you are.
Yeah. But yeah, I think preparation has a lot to do with it. Hey, like
Are your
just
weekends
being-
just like normal days?
I think we just have like pretty set sort of routines in what we eat like throughout the week, and then yeah, like then it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
to during the week. I have an ice cream on Friday nights.
She's wild.
Wild.
What kind of ice cream?
Either a drummy, whatever's in the freezer, whatever
Yeah.
gets bought, drummy, or like an ice cream sandwich.
Yep.
Sometimes a Coke Zero.
Crazy.
No caffeine, no sugar.
Love it.
Sometimes. How to get past the restriction mindset. Previously a very restrictive diet. How does someone get past this while still having goals?
Interesting. I think, I guess that's kind of like my background as well. Education for me was the biggest thing, like learning about food, and yeah, I think like education, educate yourself, but not with just like random trainer you find on Instagram. Like find good sports dietitians or nutrition coaches or people to work with that can help you. If you can't afford the coaching, find good people to follow.
That was a question. I don't know if we put it in there. Good pages
People to
or
follow,
podcasts
yeah.
to follow.
Sports dietitian, definitely. Optimize Me Nutrition.
She's brilliant.
She is the goat. Like, she's so good.
And the way she words things is so perfect.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
The way she...
So simple.
yeah. Just very... Like, yeah, I love her methods. Mm-hmm. It's just so...
So great.
It's like almost like very black and white, but not. Like
Yeah.
it's just what needs to be said.
yeah, she's brilliant. Another company, I don't know where they're based, Fortitude Nutrition Coaching. They're really great. That's just like lots of mindset and behavioral stuff, which I really, really like.
I like Jono.
Yeah, and Bite Me Nutrition, Jono
Yeah.
Steedman. Yeah, they're probably I'm trying to think if there's anyone else.
They also like... Oh, like I don't know who does much more on it anymore, but James Smith,
Yeah.
EBT. I like EBT.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
If you don't mind a few swear words from those two.
Yeah, the C-bomb every now and then.
Yeah. But yeah, those are like, they're pretty entertaining too. So
Yeah, and I feel like the industry has really changed with people like that who are coming in and challenging the very restricted way we used to think you had to eat.
yeah.
They're like, you can actually enjoy all this stuff. Like, you just need to plan to enjoy it and make sure this goes well or whatever. And I think that's really refreshing to hear, rather than
Yeah.
like I went through a phase like you couldn't eat tomatoes because there was so much sugar in them. Like,
Bananas for me.
Yeah,
Like way
crazy.
back there.
I've had 2 today.
Oi, you better be careful.
out.
That's crazy. Competition day eating. How to fuel, especially when you don't feel like eating. Have I told you about me and Han lately? Like, not like currently, but like for past competitions.
No.
I don't know if she sets me off, but we both gag.
Oh my God. Torian should be good.
Yeah. So
What are you going to eat?
how am I going to eat
No,
for
I'm
3
stressed.
days? Like, yeah. So I'm listening.
Okay. She put this question in. She's like, so somebody wants to know.
Yeah, just an anonymous
Hypothetically, if there were
Yeah.
2 girls competing in a couple of weeks,
3-day competition, 2 workouts a day.
it is really hard. Like,
It's fucking hard.
it's really hard because you feel like crap because you're tired, like you're just exhausted, tired. And then because you're working so hard and you're nervous and you're in a new environment and it's a bit stressful, like all of those things affect appetite. So it goes down. But then you also know you have to eat because you're about to do a couple of workouts in a day. So it is really, really tough. People who haven't done this before are like, oh yeah, it's so hard to eat. But like it's
so
a
hard
feeling
to
like,
eat.
yeah, it's awful.
So like when we were both eating bananas, it was this. It was so funny. We both just like literally couldn't. And I'm like, oh, like it was terrible.
Yuck. So I think first thing is picking foods you actually like. So there are no hard and fast rules, but you know, for example, if bananas aren't your thing, that's okay. We'll find something else. Relying on liquid carbs is a good idea. So then you don't have to eat, like you just drink, and that's pretty
I think
easy.
that's my plan.
Yeah.
This time around.
So things like Gatorade, juices, that kind of thing is good. Torian, Bruce smoothies are always there. That's, I don't know if you remember when we were there, that's what we lived off for a couple of days last time. Breakfast is important on those days. So making sure you get up early enough to have a good breakfast. Obviously planning around event times in there. But yeah, the rest of the day is like carbs before you compete, carbs and protein after you compete generally. And we're going to make sure we get salt back in there as well. So some of those carbs have to be something salty. Chips, pretzels, popcorn, stuff like that, I think is really good. Don't worry about it being healthy or clean because that's not the objective. The objective is just to get carbs and calories in quickly in a way that you can digest. So
That's good.
we'll work out a plan, eh?
Yeah, might have to.
But yeah, it is, the person who wrote that in it is really tough.
Yeah.
And you just don't feel like eating. And then I think making sure your dinner that night is good. Like try to stay away from junk food if you can. We don't want a big hit of fat and like saturated fats at night. It's just going to sit in your belly. We still want that to be good quality food. And it's like having a plan. How are you going to do that after a day of competing and not feeling very, good about eating?
Yeah.
So it's just, lots of things. But again, working with someone, like lots of the sports dietitians do plans for competition day eating, and I can definitely help out as well.
Yeah. I think it was one of Jono's employees. Unfortunately, the cost didn't, didn't feel like it would be as, like I didn't need it as much. I think it was a few $100s or something. But for Torian, she was doing bring all your groceries to you, do all your
cool.
food for
Yeah.
you, like would be good for like the elites. So they wouldn't
Just to not have
worry
to think about it. And
a
just another
thing.
like stress, another thing you have to organize in a place that you don't live,
Yeah.
which is in a room you don't know what you're going to, like it's just all of those factors.
Yeah. On salts, hydration salts, yes or no?
For some people, yes. Social media is a good marketing tool for everything. So if you are working out hard and you are very sweaty, I'm talking like 60 minutes plus of exercise, you probably need to replenish the salts that you have lost. Less than that, I don't know that it is super beneficial, but it tastes really good. So for me personally, that's how I drink water. Like I don't drink water very well, so
That's
it makes me drink it. Yeah.
I think for outdoor summer boys,
Oh yeah, trade like
Cool.
Josh, we buy them for the tradies now
Yeah.
because they feel so much better.
Yeah.
I feel better in summer after I've had them after big training sessions, but I think for the average person who's
Office
just
worker.
and then just CrossFitting 4 or 5 times a week, I don't think it's super beneficial. In saying that, there are some things. What was I reading the other day? POTS, the condition where people get really lightheaded.
Oh, yeah.
They think increasing sodium can help with things like that. So maybe there are some medical things where that can be useful. But for general pop, I would say probably not necessary.
Yeah, like you don't have to waste your money, but
Yeah.
if like you,
Yeah, if it helps you drink water, it's like a little treat.
yeah, it's not going to do any damage. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Any tips on switching from calorie counting to volume eating, like swapping quantity for quality?
You just got to do like you know, if your goal is now not restriction and it's fueling, it's just something that you have to do slowly over time. But the cool thing about volume eating, like we're generally referring to vegetables when we're talking about that, and they are not very calorie dense anyway, so you should not see a big, if any, scale change at all. Like, yeah,
Aside from down.
yeah, like you'll just be full, which is what we're looking for with volume eating anyway. So I like people to track protein, if not all the time, every now and then, to check in that they're getting enough. But apart from that, you cannot overdo fruit and veggies. Like
good luck.
Yeah, your body is not going to let you eat enough for it to be an issue. So go to town.
Yeah.
See
And
what
that's
happens.
what I think Optimize Me Nutrition talks a lot about. She's like you want to keep eating the sweet, salty, high calorie dense thing because that's what it like does to your brain. But are you really hungry? Look at a fucking banana or a piece of fruit and, you know.
Maybe our mum's had it right all along.
Yeah. Thoughts on body recomposition and weight loss at the same time?
Very hard to do. You need to be very dialed in on everything.
Maybe explain what body recomposition is.
So putting on muscle at the same time as losing weight, basically. So it is possible if you are heavy strength training enough and you have your nutrition completely dialed in. But for most people, very hard to do.
Because you are going to lose a little bit of muscle if you're in a calorie deficit,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
so
it's-
it's like managing training volume and making sure you're lifting heavy enough to get that muscle stress, but then putting enough protein in, but then not overeat. You know, it's just like a big balancing act. So
And it's okay that they happen one at a time.
Yeah.
Like let it happen one at a time.
yeah, and like I guess with all of these things, it's like life is also important to live. Like there's no point unless it's, you know, a bodybuilding, you know, unless it's something that you're actually working towards. If it's just for looking good, which is still important for you if that's your goal, but there's no point putting life on hold for that, I don't think. So being that dialed in for a long period of time is pretty unenjoyable. Unless, you know, that's very important to you, that's okay. But I just think life is short and live
Life
it.
is to be living.
Yes. Yes.
Do you need to fuel the same every day, even when not training? You fuel more on the rest day for me at the moment.
Yes. Again, it depends on what you mean by fueling, but yes, I wouldn't change anyone's food necessarily. Like some of my clients will have pre-workout carbs, maybe. So they wouldn't have those on the days that they're not training, but I probably wouldn't change too much else about their food.
Yep.
To be honest.
Yep.
Sorry.
You're
Button
okay.
in.
Get in there,
I
Baxter.
remember
Becco.
my auntie actually used to call me
Really?
that.
Well, there
Yeah,
you go.
so it feels nice when
Oh,
you do
cute.
that. I remember one of your seminars, it was interesting to hear this, that in terms of burning calories, training is like the smallest
Yeah.
percentage, whereas people think the opposite almost. You know, your day-to-day sitting and everything that you went through. So I think, yeah, whether you're training or not,
Yeah, your intake
people
doesn't
think
need
it
to
has
change.
more impact
Yeah.
than it actually
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
I remember that from your seminar. Oh, finished. Back to you.
Busting out.
Yeah, that's
Busting
so
in,
true.
busting out.
People overestimate how much, like obviously keep trading. It's important for other things, but overestimate how many calories they burn in a session here compared to the rest of their day. So like unless you are an elite athlete, you don't need to change much.
Because, yeah, like you said, NEAT is more impactful
Yeah.
than training.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully nobody's training
For
here
that.
to burn calories.
Yes.
Because that's exercise.
Exactly. We don't
I reckon,
do that.
I reckon
here.
there'd be a few
Yeah.
newbies. Like when they first start, I reckon they start with that intention. and we don't like to take that away from them straight away.
Yeah.
You make them
Because it will,
realise.
like, if weight loss is your goal, being here, training will make a difference. It's just not as much as maybe we've been
led to believe.
over the years. Yeah, for sure.
What's more important, consistent nutrition or consistent sleep?
Oh, consistent sleep, because that's going to drive a lot of your nutrition choices.
Yeah, but both.
But both, definitely
Because-
both. Don't give up one for the other. But if I had to,
9 hours of sleep, eat what I want.
if I had to pick one, because it influences the other so much.
Yeah.
There was a study back in the day when this would still be legal, where they took a bunch of college students in the States and made them all sleep deprived for, I think it was like 3 nights or 4 nights, not a long time. After that, whatever period it was of sleep deprivation, they all showed signs of pre-diabetes. Like,
crazy.
sleep has the hugest impact on us. Like, probably more than we even realize at the moment. So
That's why we talk about, like, if, like, when you're asking about supplements, you fucking sleeping enough.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yes.
supplements are not going to do shit if you're getting 6 or 7 hours a night. Like, get 8.
Yeah.
Get 8 hours.
yeah, and like that is going to pay off in so many more ways as well. Like, sleep.
It's just so hard to measure, which is what, like, as in when I say measure, like, you have a good night's sleep one night and then you have, you know, a good day and then you have a shit night's sleep, and it's hard to go, that is what
The
made
effect of that is this. Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah. For
really hard
sure.
to, so I think that's why people just underestimate it.
Yeah.
And don't give it the weight it needs.
And it's also like boring.
Yeah. It's not sexy. It's not
Yeah.
fun. It's not creatine gummies. It's no creatine gummy.
Certainly is not.
How soon after a heavy workout do you need protein for muscle growth? Are we talking 30 minutes, an hour, hours, or is this a waste of time and I can just wait until my next meal?
Again, it depends on what your goals are. Are you sick of me saying that yet?
No.
Okay, cool.
I think it's important.
So muscle protein synthesis, or MPS, sometimes we'll refer to it as, is the process by which we can grow muscle. It means that we need to have a source of protein coming in every 3 to 5 hours. So as long as you are getting about 30 grams of protein coming in, so this is why we use main meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, plus any incidental protein you get in snacks, you're probably going to be fine. You don't need to worry about it too much. So as long as you are getting that chunk of protein coming in within the next 3 to 5 hours after your previous meal, you're probably fine.
So where does the depend come from?
Athletes, people who are doing multiple training sessions a day, I would potentially change that a little bit.
And even, would you change it for people who are eating in a surplus? Would you make
Possibly.
Yeah.
Just to get more calories in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, again, for like the average kind of like CrossFitter in classes, as long as your next meal had that chunk of protein in it, you're good to go.
Cool. We already asked the favorite nutrition dietitian social media accounts to follow, but we didn't talk about podcasts. Do you have any podcasts that you follow?
The only one I consistently follow for nutrition is, again, Optimize Me. It's called The Consistency Project, and she just talks about a different topic every week.
Do you like No Pressure? Do you like Dr. Stacey Sims?
Yes. Yep.
'Cause
I
think
do.
She talks a lot about nutrition stuff
Yeah.
as well.
Sometimes, yes, I do. I think it's really important that people are looking at more female-centric stuff, because there's not been a lot of research on it. Sometimes I find it a bit,
Hard and fast rules?
yeah, like too specific almost. Like, I saw one the other day, but I was like, this is just getting ridiculous, where it was like, women should be training at this time of day and you only need to do 3 strength exercises. And I'm like, man, let's just let them train the way they want to, because that's the battle at the moment, is getting people to move. Let's not put rules on stuff, because people are going to hear that and go like, oh, I'm wasting my time at CrossFit. I just need to go do this. Like, I just don't think that is helpful
Yeah.
at the moment. So sometimes I just find very sciencey people cannot disseminate that information to the public very well. Like, they're too smart.
Yeah.
They don't think about like the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
So yes, I love the work she's doing, but I think it's sometimes a bit too nuanced for, general humans.
Yep. That's good. She's also got a podcast if anyone's interested.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
But,
cool.
Yeah. but like you said, like take what you need.
Yes.
Don't
take it all.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
It's
that's
not
really
gospel.
important.
But that's with everything.
Yeah. Jinx.
Literally with everything. Like even this, take what you need. Don't take the rest.
No, take
but
all of
fucking
this.
do it.
Take all of this.
Any good alternatives to protein shakes? They give me the what's BOKE?
I don't know. Scottish thing.
Boke?
The
Bok?
boke. They give me the boke. No, that was not Scottish.
imagine it's like gagging.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No idea.
Like I love Rockaby. Like if they wanted to
Oh.
send me some like I drink one every day and I have
I think
for the
I need
last-
to go to Costco and
Just
I'll
buy
just
them.
get them.
We'll
I'll
just
get
buy
them.
a fridge to store our Rockabies in. Okay,
I
cool.
think that's
So if you don't like the WPI protein shake on water, or make it into a smoothie. Like you can't even taste it. Put it my breakfast every day for the last like 5 years. Same protein powder, chocolate, banana, honey, milk, oats. Delicious.
love it.
So maybe one of those options. I think that one also mentioned collagen option, but yes.
And protein water, are they incomplete proteins? Will they still help me get ripped if the rest of my diet is decent?
Incomplete protein as far as I'm aware, because it's not whey based.
And so what does that mean for someone when you have something that's an incomplete protein? What does that do or not do?
So that muscle protein synthesis we were talking about before we require complete sources of proteins in those quantities for muscle building. So we need all of the amino acid combination for that to happen. Incomplete proteins just mean that they don't have the full spectrum of those amino acids. And so people who are vegetarian and vegan often struggle with this quite a lot. So we often need to put certain foods with certain foods to make sure they can get all those amino acids in. So
That always blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like that they figured that out.
crazy, so crazy.
Like I'm pretty sure the vegan protein powder, the true one, is a complete protein because of the pea
They've added
and
pea
the,
and
like,
something.
whatever it is.
Yeah, brown rice or something.
yeah.
Yes. So incomplete, like still better than having nothing, but if we have the option to have a complete protein source, we should always take it.
Yep. Love it. Last question that I have here on the list. We've already talked about the hydration tablets and sachets. What about this is a two-parter. BCAAs?
Nah.
Don't need them?
Just nah.
Nah.
Again, like if you're not doing everything else well, there's no point spending the money. They taste really good. So like if it's going to help you drink water, then maybe, but for the most part, do the other shit really well and then look at adding on supplements.
This is a good one that we could build on this last question, actually. We could probably rant about this for a little bit because the question is there any evidence or research that is concerned with the long-term effects of using different types of supplements or sugar-free additives every day? When I say we can expand on this, I find it very interesting how people get very worried about this type of thing, but then they'll still drink beers on the weekend, you know, like I think we can talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Not that I know of. I know that a little while ago, I'm sure you remember the World Health Organization came out with those types of sweeteners as carcinogens.
Oh yeah.
But if you actually read the study that went along with it, you would need to drink like 6 liters of Diet Coke a day to be hitting that level of...
I think it might have even been like 60 liters.
Yeah,
like
it was something crazy.
offensive.
Like that wasn't even... So people just jump on these bandwagons of like, oh, Diet Coke's causing cancer. Like it probably isn't in the quantities that you're drinking.
Yeah.
I have Pepsi. If you took my Pepsi Max away from me, like I think I would die. I
How
would shrivel up and die.
how many maxes are we talking about?
One
a day.
maybe 2 if it's like if I've had a rough day, you know.
She hits those Pepsi Maxes hard on those rough days. Do you
You're
love
on the
it?
couch,
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
do.
"Uh-oh."
Second Pepsi's out. Shit.
She's about to get wild in this household.
Yeah, I fucking love it. Yeah, so not that I know of apart from that. I mean, I'm sure that there is, but nothing that I have read. But I know that people who are concerned about additives in their food would be super concerned about those things. But then, yes, with what you said, how much other stuff are you exposing yourself to, and just micro focusing on this one little thing. Yeah, I don't know. But I also kind of understand and agree with some of the research around our environment now and how many things we are exposed to. And, you know, we have higher rates of cancer and those kinds of diseases now. And are they linked only to that? I don't know. I don't know the answers to that.
We were looking at, Callie's been watching some, I can't remember the name of it, so that's unhelpful, documentary at school at the moment to do with the environment and how they can help like decrease everything. And apparently in this documentary, Jordo told me all the facts because they watched it together at home because she brought it home and wanted him to watch it. This is on like a late night when I was working. And Jordo was like, did you know microplastics, they're all around us in the air, and do you know what they come from the most?
No.
Do you know what they come from the most?
No.
Our clothing.
Interesting.
So like from wearing it, it's touching us constantly, it gets in us.
Absorbed,
And then like, we're all kind of fucked from microplastics anyway. So
yeah. Drink your Pepsi Max, guys. No. Yeah. And I think, I think there's just so many things that we can't really control these days. We can do our best to kind of, I just think sometimes people focus on such small parts of a really big problem that it's not going to fix it.
Especially when I think people like need to zoom out a little bit more instead of like you said, they have that massive focus on that one thing. It's like, I need to check the label on every single label. Are these additives in this?
Yes.
But then they go and drink fucking, a liter of wine on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, life is to be enjoyed.
Yes.
And I'm not saying take your wine away, but you also don't have to stress as hard as you are about that thing when that's probably doing more damage to you.
Yeah, and especially then if we look at things like sleep, like we were talking about before, like we know that that's one of the most protective things we have against chronic disease. If you're not doing that well, but you're worrying about that additive in that one source that you won't, it's just, where do you draw the line?
And stress.
Like,
oh
oh my
Becky.
God.
If you're
Becco! Dropping the bombs.
Yeah, like there's just so many things, and it's
Stress is a huge one.
Yeah.
No one asked about stress. Stress eating.
Yeah.
That'd be huge in nutrition coaching.
Yeah, and it's like kind of what we were talking about before, that dopamine hit. Like people get into the habit of, problem pops up, solve problem by eating chocolate. Brain's like, oh, that feels nice. Next time problem pops up, solve problem. Like it just becomes this thing, like without actually fixing the problem or addressing the problem. It's almost just like smushing it down with a block of chocolate or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, huge.
Stress is so big.
And emotional eating as well, like another huge big one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't solve any of your problems. Like you're still going to be sad, lonely, whatever it is after that ice cream tub is gone. So you're just making yourself feel worse about it now.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to figure out other ways to deal with figuring out what the actual problem is first, and then how can we deal with that rather than just smushing it down and eating.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
What do you both do for stress? How do you manage your stress? I think because it's really hard to say, be less stressed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, so how do you guys have any methods?
Yell at Josh. That's good. So if anyone wants to borrow him,
Stress reliever.
Yeah.
Yell at Josh.
and he mostly just takes it. So that's
Nice.
that's good.
That's good.
That's nice.
That's helpful.
No, I think I always try to remind myself tomorrow's a new day. Like I'm not saving lives. Like I'm not unfortunately performing any life-saving surgeries today. So like nothing really is a big deal at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'm something similar to that. It's like, will this issue be an issue in 5 years' time?
In my head, I'm like, yes, of course it will. But like, no.
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Almost never. What about you, Baxter?
That's a good thing. Long term, is this going to be a problem in 5 years' time? But also trying to just break it down into manageable chunks. So after I've gone into overdrive,
After she screamed at Mitch for half an hour.
then one step at a time. Writing things out helped me a lot. Writing, seeing it visually, and then what's the first thing, and then just trying my best to take it one step at a time.
Love it. And something else I do every week is massage. That's fucking. I've done it ever since I was diagnosed with my autoimmune disease. Maybe even a little bit before that. I think. I just find it's like my little treat. And like every week, it just feels like a little reset almost.
Yeah. I feel, yes. And I think going outside is a huge one as well. Like,
So good.
we spend so much of our lives like at computers or on phones or online, like working, whatever it is. And then, yeah, just like yesterday when the sun was out, I was like, oh, I feel so much better just for being outside for half an hour.
Taking Baxter for a walk. That's definitely like leave the phone unless I'm listening to a podcast. And sometimes I try and just go out with nothing and just look around, like open your eyes, look up.
I think that's so important. And that's something we do as a family is like time without the phone, walk the dog. It's like 22-ish minutes where it's like uninterrupted chats while we're walking.
Yeah.
And I think like being outside, moving your body and connecting without technology.
Yeah.
Which like you don't get very often. Like it sucks, but it's just the way life is. Hey,
But
like,
yeah,
you
you've
gotta
got
make
to
time for it.
not being stressed is such an important part. Thanks, Becco. I think, I think that's really important to bring up. But I think you have to be intentional about how you're going to reduce it. You can't just be be less stressed. Like you have to
have a plan.
Yeah, and you got to prepare for it, and you got to like do something about it.
And you like have to be okay with it not feeling good to do sometimes. Like the last thing you want to do when you're in the midst of something is like, okay, I'm going to stop this now and go for a walk. Like it feels so unproductive, but just knowing it's going to feel so good at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think every day you should be doing it. You should be doing something to reduce your stress every single day.
It's another practice, isn't it? Because you can get so caught up and practicing what works for you as well.
Yeah.
Reality TV is my thing. Love Actually.
So cringe. No, but
Limited.
so many people love that shit.
I think
I hate it.
I can totally switch off.
Yeah, it's
Like,
that mindlessness.
It's not thinking, it's not
yeah.
learning, it's not being productive.
Yeah.
It's just absorbing shit.
I'm just
yeah.
mine is film clips. Like we love a film clip in my house. Eh?
Yeah.
We fucking
Like a music video.
love music
Yeah,
videos.
yes, do.
We just have music on and like mindlessly
started doing that
watching
now.
that.
I like it.
Yeah,
Your YouTube on. You have
Yeah.
YouTube on a lot,
Yeah.
don't you? Yeah. I've heard a lot of people do that actually.
yeah, just YouTube music. The like you go scroll across and make sure it's on music, not just playing random shits on music. You can like pick a playlist.
It'll be interesting to maybe we should put that out, see what people do
Yeah.
to de-stress.
Love it.
Like
Yeah.
what is their
Good
thing?
question. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I always think like a good night's sleep fixes everything.
Yep.
Like just
And sometimes that's hard to like sometimes I remember we both recently went through some just really terrible sleeping nights. Last night I had the best sleep.
Oh, I had a terrible sleep
Oh, that
last
sucks.
night.
I just don't remember any of it, so I know it was so
Yeah,
good. Like I
that's so
didn't I
good.
feel like I didn't wake up. I feel like there was no I just felt like I woke up and I was like, fuck.
I'm amazing. When you wake up and your watch is like, not good today. Like, thank you. I know. I don't feel good.
I don't have that. That's on the new ones. I don't think I
Oh,
have
maybe.
that.
Like it tells me my sleep like
Score?
Yes, but then it like tells you like in words like
Oh.
not a good training day today.
Oh, that's so sad. No, I don't want that. I don't want it to tell me.
So funny.
I don't want to know, man.
Oh dear.
Awesome. What do we got?
Bright
Bright
spot.
spot.
Do you want me to go?
You go first. I haven't thought about mine.
I thought about mine. Josh and I took over the building company about a year ago, and we're just about to hand over our very first house together.
That's so exciting.
Which is so exciting. Yeah.
How far away is that?
Should be next week.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's really cool. It's been a big year of learning.
Yeah, you're a little like builder lady that does
Yeah.
lots of buildy stuff on your
very-
computer.
Very fun / mostly don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay.
That's
Let's figure
okay.
it out.
Becky, you can go next.
Okay, please.
I'm still trying to.
Fill in. I got to coach alongside you a class this week.
Yeah, you did.
A big 5:30 class.
Yeah.
It was very fun. Very fun. I was nervous, but it helped. I trained before.
Yeah.
Straight before, which I was sweaty, but I think it helped. Like mentally, I was just like, didn't have to overthink things too much. Yeah, it was so much fun. And
That's
it's
good. You didn't come across very nervous, I wouldn't
oh,
say.
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Came across pretty confident.
Yeah.
Not very nervous.
It is hard.
Keep going.
Saying that, Becky.
Keep going.
I feel
Tell
so
us.
validated.
So hard.
Tell us why.
What's the hardest thing about
Tell
it,
us
would you
about
say? What do we do really well that makes it look... No, I'm kidding.
There's so much to think about, and a room full of people, all eyes on you. Even if you've got all this stuff in your head, like, this is what I'm going to say, it just goes out. Like, you need to know
So funny.
your shit. And looking at everybody, giving people cues, the timings, the music. There's
The
just
fan.
so much. The fan.
She forgot to turn the fan up.
It was
Everyone would have been,
2
like,
minutes
staring
left of the
at you.
workout.
It was
hilarious.
Mandy's like, just quick.
Turn
No
that
one
shit
will
up.
know. Luckily, it was a coolish.
Yeah,
night.
it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot. You guys do such a good job.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Really,
Thanks,
really good.
Star. That's
But
nice.
it was fun. And to get the feedback from you, learning like alongside you guys that are doing it so well is, a privilege.
Say it.
Oh, that's so
She looks like she's going to vomit.
All right. Have you thought of one?
She's like moving
Take
on. No, but
No. Just no.
just back on that. Just talking about how good we are for a second.
Back to us.
Back to us. What I said to you as well when we were talking about it afterwards, and I know we've spoken about it before. There is so much going on, and it's so good to be there and like watching someone coach, because then you get to see how much you miss. Like, you miss so much when you're speaking, cueing, demoing, watching, thinking about what's coming next. You also have to make sure that you're seeing what's going wrong. And it's always good to like sit back, and then I can see what she misses. But like, also it's fucking hard. Like,
Yeah.
you can't see
You're
everything.
not going to get it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And you make it look so easy, which is proof that you're good at what you do. You're like, oh yeah, this coaching
do
stuff
this.
looks easy, but it is not.
Yeah.
And I think your standards as well with the coaching is high. Your expectations. I think one of the masters ladies said to me that she would never go to another gym after this. Like, she would always look for like some sort of CrossFit gym. And I said, yes, but also I think you're probably seeing like quite a high standard of coaching. Not myself, but the standard's high here, which is good. It's scary. It's a bit intimidating, but it's good.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. That's so nice.
Really nice.
I also think it's so nice because Becky doesn't really often say nice things.
No, that's twice.
So
And
that's-
you were nice to me the week before,
Yeah,
and now I'm nice to
It's
you.
too much niceness going
So
on.
stop now.
Yeah, we'll move on. She's like, anyway, you guys are shit. So, my bright spot is my PT sessions. I've just really enjoyed my one-on-ones. I don't have many of them, but the ones I do have, I'm just really enjoying the things that we're working on. And yeah, it's just I just fucking love my job. So it's just so fun. I love it.
Fun. Very lucky.
And Becky's bum us up. That's why I'm going to throw that into that. We had a little,
Helped.
I did a little work with Cezi on some spotting, and Becky was the
guinea pig.
was the
Butted
guinea
in
pig.
again.
Yeah, and yeah, it was very, very cool. But yeah, it's very, very fun job, and very rewarding when people like to work hard, which is cool.
Very cool.
All right, well, anyway,
Ciao.
guess we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.